Today we're going to look at the first step to take when you're planning your retirement. Now, if you're already retired, it's not too late to do this too. My name's Dave Zoller, and if you like these kinds of retirement planning specific videos, take a look in the description below. I put some helpful resources down there specifically for you. One of them is the DIY retirement plan. If you're not ready to work with an advisor or you just don't want to, that could be helpful for you. Now, this first step when creating your plan, it's a thing that you've probably heard of, but not many people put that much emphasis on it, and sometimes they skip right over it. And interestingly, most advisors do the same. They don't put that big of an emphasis on it, because if you don't take this step, it's actually not going to cause your plan to crash and burn. Without it, your financial plan can actually still work perfectly. But if you've seen any of our other videos on this channel, then you know that we at Streamline care as much about your non-financial side of your retirement as much as we do about the financial side, because we know you need both of those to be working together if you really want to live a truly fulfilled next stage of life, one full of joy and purpose and passion. And just focusing on the money piece of your retirement plan isn't going to get you there. So the successful retirees that we've seen, they took the time to get clear on their why. They got clear on the answer, why are we even retiring in the first place? Is it because I'm a certain age? Is it because it's the social norm that says I'm supposed to do it at this time? Is there something I want to do more of? Am I running away from something that I dislike, or am I running towards something that I enjoy more or want to have more time allocated to? And getting clear on your why can help you figure out that almost impossible question of how much is enough. When you know the answer to this, planning for retirement becomes a lot less daunting because you have a clear target that you're aiming for. Once you have that, then you can implement the retirement plan and the investment strategies to give you the greatest chance of achieving that target. So Susan called me up one day and she was looking for a second opinion. She's 58 and she had just received a plan from another advisor that said her and her husband had to work until they're 70 if they want the plan to be successful. So the advisor told her that if they wanted to continue their lifestyle, then they got to work another 12 years. But the advisor didn't take the time to figure out Susan and her husband's why. He didn't listen to their story and he didn't find out what's most important to her. What he did was, which is pretty common in planning, is he took the numbers and the data and then he told her what's possible with those numbers. Now, just because that's the way that 99% of advisors create a financial plan doesn't mean it's the best way to do it, and it doesn't mean it's the best way for you. What the best advisors I've seen do is they listen to the client's stories first, asking questions that they've never thought about, getting really clear on what's most important to their client and where they want to be, and then fitting the numbers into their story rather than letting the numbers go first. If this advisor found Susan's why first, he would have found out that the single biggest factor to a successful retirement would be proximity to their kids and their faith. Those are two of their main values that we uncovered. So Susan and I walked through the Streamline system and we quickly discovered those top two values. Their kids were in South Carolina, and in the original plan, they budgeted taking 4 trips per year down there. They lived in Illinois and then they were going to go down to South Carolina 4 times a year. And we began looking at some of the what-if scenarios of different expenses and costs and different ideas that they could apply in retirement. We weren't making any decisions. We were just exploring and discussing the different options out there. What Susan really wanted to do, and what her husband wanted to do as well, was see their grandkids more often. And really, they wanted it more than 4 times a year, especially while those kids were under 10 years old. If they listened to the original financial advisor and that financial plan, this never would have been possible. But once we discovered their why, we took them through a series of crucial questions to help design that ideal future that they were looking for. A few of the questions were things like, is your current home your forever home? They decided they loved it, but without their kids and grandkids, it wasn't the same. And would you really want to commit to South Carolina? They didn't know. They couldn't answer that right now. So we decided not to commit. What we decided to do instead was rent a South Carolina condo for a year, take it for a test drive. They'd keep their Illinois home and not make too many big transitions. Now, this would be spending more money than they had planned originally, but this was for a short term, a 1-year term, really. And then we knew that within the next 5 years, they would have to make a decision on what to do with their Illinois home. They made a few adjustments to their planned living expenses, like club dues and entertainment in downtown Chicago. And this freed up enough margin to be able to rent that South Carolina house and keep the Illinois house. They retired from work 2 years later, 10 years before the original advisor's plan, and they started renting in South Carolina. After that, they were ready to commit. They sold the Illinois house, they bought in South Carolina, and they've never been happier. They're close to their family. They're creating a new community within their church, and they're doing great. So bring this conversation up to your financial planner. Get clear on your why. Make sure you incorporate it in your plan. Really, make sure you start with that. And if you need help, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to do it, or look for the DIY retirement plan in the description below. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe, and then I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.